welcome back to Reborn Furniture Designs. If you are new here, my name is Renee and I'm a stay-at-home mom of two who flips furniture to earn a profit in order to bring in some extra income and pay off debts and help out loved ones any way we can.
Hi!
I apologize that I missed last Furniture Flippin Friday. My kids, my husband, and I, we were all super sick, and actually on this day last week, I was trying to record and I had no voice. I sounded horrible. So I decided to just skip the week, give my body some time to rest, and we are starting to do a lot better. We are here in our kitchen and about to make some yummy chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, and Emma. And
excuse me.
And this is my mom. Hey, mommy.
While we are making chocolate chip cookies, you guys are going to see how I gave an old Queen Anne style buffet a new makeover. So I basically got this piece for free from my neighbor. She wanted a commission piece, a little rocking chair, and so we traded. And I did her commission piece, and in exchange, she gave me a bunch of furniture that she was getting rid of. So I really made out on that one.
Hi.
So here we go. Watch how I make over this beautiful Queen Anne style buffet. So I started out by removing the hardware and putting it into a container so it wouldn't get lost. Then I removed the drawers and got it ready for a good cleaning. I mixed some simple green with some warm water and used that to clean and degrease the piece. Gabe decided he wanted to help. Once I had cleaned everything with the degreaser, I got some fresh water and a clean rag and wiped it all down to give it a good rinse. Once it was all dry, it was time to sand. Even though I'm outside, I decided to wear my respirator for protection because I knew that I'd be sanding for a long time and I didn't want to inhale any of that sanding dust. My goal for this was to start out with an 80 grit sandpaper to basically strip back the finish on that wood. I wanted to sand down to the raw wood. and it was a process. But I sanded and sanded and sanded some more. And once I reached that raw wood on top, I went ahead and gave the rest of the piece a scuff sand with a probably like a 200-220 grit sandpaper. Just really want to roughen up that surface so that the paint has something to stick to. The glossy finish that was on the piece wouldn't have worked well for adhesion. Then I got a damp microfiber cloth and wiped back all of that dust. I noticed there was still some spots in the crease there along that beveled edge that I was hoping I could get a little bit more perfect. Look at that beautiful wood. Now the top of this was veneer over the top, so I had to be very careful when I was sanding not to sand through that veneer. Once I was done with that, I taped off the edges of that raw wood, poured some of my favorite Zinsser Bin shellac-based primer, and coated everything with a coat of that, just to block any bleed through from that burgundy stain and to make sure that everything sticks really well. It was definitely difficult to paint those on top of the grass like that, but I don't have a garage, so I do what I can.
Furniture painter's tip. Don't ever add water with a pitcher. I usually use like a spray bottle. I couldn't find my spray bottle, and I knew I needed some sort of container of water on camera to add water to the paint, and I ended up dumping a ton of paint in there and ruining half of my paint. But what I ended up doing was dumping the paint water into the jar and mixing it so that I got a good consistency out of what was left in the jar. And then I dumped out the paint water and then dumped the paint into the container, so we are good to go. On the runny side, but that is okay, because you want it thin enough to go on smooth and you want it to stay wet. Something that is a good idea when using chalk paint is actually to keep that spray bottle on hand to mist your brush and mist your paint and your piece, so there's plenty of water and it stays nice and wet and is workable. I prefer to use a synthetic, like a smooth synthetic bristle brush rather than a natural bristle. It's, I don't know, just a little too stiff for me. I like the smooth synthetic brush. Alright, so we're just gonna dip a little bit in there, and you want to decide which way you want your brush strokes to go, and then you want to try to keep all of them going in the same direction.
So I painted this piece in folk art home decor chalk paint. I believe the color is called Rich Black. And I love this paint. It goes on really well and the coverage is fantastic. Hey guys, I forgot to record me putting on the second and kind of a third coat of paint. It was more of like a touch-up. I had to take the drawers and the doors outside so that I could do them while working or while my kids played. But anywho, so I got them painted and realized I just didn't like the way these creases looked. So I filled them with some caulk and with a wet finger just wiped it away, and then anything that was left here I wiped away with a wet rag. Now I'm just going to let them completely dry. I'm going to paint it. You want to make sure it's a paintable caulk, and then once it's completely dry I will paint the caulk black. I think everything is going to be ready to be sealed. I'm going to use this water-based polyacrylic in a matte finish. Here's my brush. The new brush. I love new brushes. I like to buy these jumbo popsicle sticks. They're great for storing small cans of paint top coat. And then once I get the whole body of the furniture sealed up, then I will go ahead and remove all of that painter's tape and stain and seal the top. But now I gotta go throw some dinner in the oven, so I'll be back soon. Hey guys, I am back on day 3. Pretty typical for my flips to take forever. Outside with the kids, they're playing.
Mosquitoes, roundups.
Yes, the mosquitoes are horrible. But the kids want to be outside, so here we are. It's the only way I can get things done. So I've got a table set up here with all my stuff and the drawers and doors, because those I can bring outside. Let's go ahead and get these sealed up. I'm using a Minwax water-based polyacrylic in a clear matte finish, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. Now, when you're working with dark colors like this, the pigment will bleed. So like if I was to just dip my brush right into this can of poly and start brushing it on, the black is gonna get onto my brush and then be dipped right back into the can. It'll contaminate the whole can. So what you wanna do is dump some into a separate container. I'm going to be using this on the body of the buffet as well. Also on dark colors, the polyacrylic tends to create like a cloudy look. But if you take just like a little bit of your paint and you mix it into your poly,
Mommy.
it tints it and you don't get that, that cloudiness. I still can't believe that even after that mess up with the paint, I still have so much paint left. And this is my third project with that one bottle, 16-ounce bottle of black paint. Then our polyacrylic is tinted. So then you just want to make sure that there is no dust on your piece because that's going to get sealed right into it.
Mommy, I do not bathroom.
Alright, and here we go. Now, any kind of polyacrylic or polyurethane you want to put on in several thin layers. You can do this with a bristle brush, a foam brush. Some people even like to use sponges. There's even some sponges that you can get that are like round and they have like a little handle on top. I kind of want to try one of those out. Putting poly on a surface like this with so many bevels and stuff, it makes it really hard to keep things going in the same direction and to avoid the paint pooling, like if you get too much. So I would honestly recommend, if you have a sprayer, I would recommend spraying your poly.
Spraying poly? What does that mean, Mom?
You know, when you're working with like a large like top surface, like the top of a dresser or something, it's really easy to keep all your strokes the same and not over brush it, because I think I'm overworking it right now. Now remember, I was only able to add the paint to tinted because they're both water-based. If I was working with like an oil-based polyurethane, you don't want to add anything to that. Water and oil do not mix. So like a nice big smooth surface like this is nice. Keep all your brush strokes in the same direction. You don't really have to worry about over brushing, because if the poly starts to dry and then you keep running the brush over it, that creates a lot of streaks. There we go. I got a first coat on both drawers. Got one on this door, but I might have to sand that down and restart because that looks horrible. But I'm going to go get away from all these mosquitoes. I've gotten like 7 bites in like the last 30 seconds. It's been horrible. So I will see you guys back in a little bit. So the footage that you just watched was several months ago, and it was when I had first decided that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, but then I kind of chickened out. So I didn't record the rest of the flip. So after I got that top coat on the body of the piece, I stained the wood top that I sanded down your face and sealed it, and it was beautiful. So here's a reminder of what it looked like before, and here's what it looks like after. I listed this piece on Facebook Marketplace, and it took a while for the right buyer to come along, but she did. I sold it for $200. I was about $30 in on this piece, so I had $170 profit. Thank you guys so much for watching today. We're gonna finish out our cookies, and we will see you next week for Furniture Flippin Friday. You do not want to miss this one. I'm going to be making over one of those old school, big, bulky entertainment centers that nobody wants in their living rooms anymore because they're enormous. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. And hit that subscribe button so that you can see what I make out of it. I'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.